How about this? Let's change it up. Let's talk a little Detroit Lions, Braylon Edwards.
There it is.
And first of all, it's kind of nice to sit here at the bye week, right?
Yeah.
6-2 at the bye week. I mean, it's one of those things where you're not so nervous about the game. They're not just kick your feet up and relax this weekend, huh?
Yeah, the best thing about being 6-2 at the bye, man, from the player's point of view and even from the fans' perspective, is everything you want is in front of you. Like, everything that you said you wanted to do before the season is right there. Everything that you said you could do is right there. Everything that you said that people said you couldn't do is still right there. It's the playoffs. It's the division win. It's the second round of playoffs. It's to get to the NFC and potentially have a chance to get to the Super Bowl. And you look at the way the schedule lines up, and we talked about it. One team remaining has a winning record, and that is the Dallas Cowboys, who we played the second to last week of the season. They have a very interesting game coming up Sunday against the Eagles. But everything is there, man. You kick your feet up. But what it doesn't make you do, Ryan, after you kick your feet up for a second, you start to think, nah, now is not the time to kick my feet up. Now is not the time to rest. Now is not the time to pull out my PlayStation 5 and try to get my season on NBA 2K together. Now is the time to get back on the film. Now is the time to make sure I'm healthy. Now is the time to make sure my diet is right. Now is the time to make sure I'm watching all the film. Now is the time that if I had any little beef with my coach, or we had a moment where we couldn't figure it out, hey, coach, you got a second? Let's talk. Where are we right now as a coach and a player right now? Where are we? Where's our relationship? How's the offense? This is when you get to the bottom of things, you figure it out, you smooth it all over, and you get ready for the second half of the season. Because even though the season is favorable, Ryan Ermanni is still any given Sunday.
The Lions signed 4 pretty big-name free agents. For them, they went in the free agency period, and only one of them is still standing right now or has played a really, really, truly significant role in the first half because he's played in every game, and that's Cam Sutton.
Number one.
Emmanuel Mosley didn't work out, injury. C.J. Gardner-Johnson has been injured. David Montgomery has been injured. So you have one of the 4 free agents still playing for you and playing well for you, by the way. But it's this draft class. Let me put up for you this rookie class, especially offensively. What Jahmyr Gibbs and Sam Laporta are doing. The Lions rookies lead the NFL with a combined 1,000 scrimmage yards this season. Where would this team be without Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam Laporta, Brian Branch, and I think you can even add, or will be able to add, Jack Campbell in at some point. Yeah. He got significant snaps on Monday Night Football. It feels like that snap number is only going to increase for him throughout the season. But even if you want to leave Campbell out, give me Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam Laporta, and Brian Branch. Those 3 players are a huge reason why this team is 6-2.
Then that means the real question is, where will we be without Brad Holmes? Like, where will we be without Brad Holmes? Brad Holmes has stayed the course. He's trusted his process. He's trusted what he told Dan Campbell, what they talked about, what they worked. He's trusted his eye that he had when he was with the Los Angeles Rams, leading to players such as Mr. Triple Crown himself, Cooper Kupp. So he's trusted that eye, and he's trusted what he wanted to do, and he's put those players in place. You just named it. 1 out of 4 free agent moves. And those free agent moves, that Ryan, they weren't just random free agent moves. They were one of the, if not the best safety graded last year in C.J. DJ, a guy in Emmanuel Mosley who really helped that defense go over there as it relates to the back end for the San Francisco 49ers. And it's Cam Sutton, who, although that team was bad last year, they picked it up defensively wise at the end of the year, and Cam Sutton was a part of that. So he drafted well, and these guys are fitting in. Not to mention the guys that they have backing up, the guys that you bring back, like a Glasgow, you pay a Jonah Jackson, guys like that. They got guys that continuously step in. So between Brad Holmes and between what Dan Campbell is teaching his players as it relates to next man up, everybody be ready. Man, you got a match made in heaven for this Detroit Lions team who's 6-2 and second in the NFC.
And because of that, they have a 95% chance to make it to the postseason right now. Just take a look at these numbers from Pro Football Focus. The Eagles have a 99% chance of making the playoffs right now with a 7-1 record. The next best, the Lions, at week 9, have a 95% chance of making the playoffs. Now, I know it's not enough. Yeah. I know it's not enough, but from where we sit as a city, as a franchise, to have a 95% chance to make the playoffs at week 9 for the Detroit Lions, man, that is a pretty comfortable feeling to be in.
Right, and I disagree that it's not enough. And obviously, it's enough when we get to the second round of the playoffs, where we get to the NFC Championship. And I understand that, you're correct. But I disagree from this standpoint that it's not enough. The Lions won 8 of the last 10 last year. So we rode that whole 10-game winning streak the whole offseason. We talked about how good we were at the end, even though we didn't get in. But everybody said, can you keep that momentum in next season? We drafted well. We picked up the right free agents. We came into the season, and now we're 6-2. I disagree that it's not enough because the Lions are showing you we are not worried about last year. But, oh, by the way, last year wasn't a fluke either. They're legitimately putting on, and now they're 6-2 after everybody outside the city, not us, saying, yeah, we want to see that same energy from the Lions this year. We want to see what they do. You can't take last year into this year. BS. Who says you can't? Because the Lions have.
I just want to make sure we're kind of on the same page here. I say it's not enough to make the playoffs. I mean,
well,
getting a wild card berth is
that's not
failure.
No, you can't get a wild card.
Okay.
My apologies. Yes, that is an absolute failure.
I just wanted to make sure we were on the same page there.
Take a look. Ish.
Yeah, absolutely. Take a look at the AFC right now and where the playoffs sit right now. With the AFC teams, I think I have. There we go. Chiefs at 93%, Ravens at 88%, Jags, Dolphins, Bills, Jets. Even the Jets at 54%, Braylon, your former team right there sneaking into this list. There are, the Lions have a 95% chance to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
The Kansas City Chiefs have a 93% chance to make the playoffs. It just kind of goes to show you the conversation that the Lions are in.
Yeah, 100%. They are in the conversation of the elite. They're in the conversation. The guys that not only are they going to get into the playoffs, these are the teams that you have to excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. These are the teams that you got to prepare for. Like when you get into the playoffs, Ryan Ermanni, you're not looking at every team. Like when you're a good team, you're not looking at every team that's going to get in the playoffs. You're not worrying about if the Minnesota Vikings sneak in the playoffs. You're not worried about if the Giants somehow sneak into the playoffs. You're not worried about somehow if the Colts were to get in the playoffs or insert team here that is a third-tier team that's a wild card team. You're not even worrying about those teams. But when you start talking about the teams with 80% chance, 70% chance, 90% chance, when you start talking about, the Lions and look at what they're doing, when you talk about the Seahawks and what they're doing, the 49ers, the Eagles, and then on the other side, the Bills, the Chiefs, the Jaguars, those teams are going to be the teams that you're going to have to beat. Those are going to be the teams that you got to have somebody scouting, hopefully legally, for the playoffs. So you're going to have to get ready. Like, hey, Trevor Lawrence, what are his issues? I know he struggles in the red zone. That's something that the Lions got, or that's something that the AFC will have to know. What are the Bills' issues? Well, when they get behind, Josh Allen plays hero ball. You're going to have to know that about the elite teams, and the Lions are one of those teams that you're going to have to know that about.
Hey, Braylon, let me ask you this question. A potential first playoff matchup. Okay? Which one of these teams, I want you to rank these 3 teams for me. The first team, the team you do not want to see in the playoffs.
Okay.
And the number 2 after that, and number 3, the team that you want. Okay?
Okay, I got you.
First round matchup for the Detroit Lions.
The team you don't want to see.
The team you don't want to see.
Okay.
The team and the team you would want to see out of these 3 teams.
Got you.
Ready?
Got you.
So is it, well, no, it's not A, B, or C.
Well, I got you. 3, 2, 1.
Right, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Potential first-round matchups for the Detroit Lions. Dallas, New Orleans, and Seattle. Who do you want to avoid? Who do you not mind playing? Who would you love to play?
Everybody knows the answer to that question. We do not want to see the Seattle Seahawks. We do not want to see Pete Carroll. We do not want to.
All games would be at home.
This is true, and they beat us here the last 2 times in a row. And now they've added Leonard Williams and Frank Walker. Don't want to see them. Next,
Dallas, New Orleans. Who would you prefer to see? So not so much a ring, but who do you want to play in the postseason?
I'd prefer to play Dallas.
Yeah.
I would prefer to play Dallas and the Saints would be the meh. The reason the Saints are the meh, we talked about it yesterday. They're that weird team that you don't know what you're getting out of Taysom Hill. They always have a good defense. Alvin Kamara is starting to play well this year. Michael Thomas is showing some flashes. You don't know what Derek Carr you're going to play against. Dak Prescott in the playoffs, pretty sure I know who that guy is.
Road Dak Prescott.
Exactly. And
there's a difference between road Dak Prescott and home Dak Prescott.
Ask the San Francisco 49ers about that. At the same time, all you got to do is run to Micah Parsons. And I know he's still elite. Look at the teams that run at Micah Parsons. That's when they lose. Arizona Cardinals ran to Micah Parsons. They dominated them. You look at last year, the Eagles both times ran to Micah Parsons. When they lose, people running Micah Parsons. So give me Dallas, punish them. Saints, they're just too weird. And then I don't want to see the Seattle Seahawks.
All right, I'm going to give you two more teams. You ready?
I'm ready.
Do you want to see Seattle, San Francisco, or Philly? Do the same thing for me there.
Okay.
The team you don't want to play and the team you would want to play.
Yep.
San Francisco, Seattle, and Philly.
Still don't want to play Seattle. Philly, give me the 49ers.
Right.
Give me the 49ers.
Kind of how it feels at this point, right?
Give me the 49ers.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Eagles, I still don't want to see the Seahawks. When you beat a team 2 years in a row at home, and then the next year the team.
And really, like 10 of the last 12 times they played, I think.
Exactly. So it's why tempt fate? Don't want to see Seattle. Meh on the Eagles. Give me the 49ers.
That is so funny because that's exactly what I was going to say. Great stuff there.